What's up, YouTube? Capital G here. Got a very unique and absolutely awesome duel for you guys to check out. This is going to showcase how you can use one of the most random pieces of Cyberse support to, well, basically link spam all over the field. But here's the kicker. You will not have to use any single resources to actually link summon. You're not putting any monsters into those link summons. The link monsters are just going to basically just come on your field one by one by one, and it's just going to be glorious. Now, the interesting thing is you don't actually pick the link monsters that you're going to be summoning. Some of you guys are like, wait a minute, Cap, I can't keep up. What the hell are you saying right now? It's absolutely glorious. Just wait, we'll get to it in a second. And it is going to, of course, be convoluted and very specific, which makes it even better, but I guess I'll explain as we go on. So we got Cyber Dragons at the bottom, then we have, I don't really know what to call this deck at the top. I guess you can call it Cyberse Randomness, because that's going to be the end result. Cyber Dragons probably shouldn't be running Cyber Network. I would just copy paste one of the versions that top the 200 YCS or something like that. Anyways, Cyber Dragons are up first. I believe that he is going to end with Cyber Dragon Infinity, which is cool, but I think you want a little bit more than that. This is why I think that Cyber Network, or as I used to call it, Facebook the card, I think that would probably be better as like an impermanence. So, he ends with like a Cyber Dragon. I think I also would have kept Core on the field too. That maybe, I don't know, maybe that's just me. Unfortunately, he does get Kaiju, so that does kind of sucks. He activates the Cyber Network. His opponent is going to actually Rhoda for a copy of Battling Boxer Veer. This makes it all the more random. You actually need this card. It's integral to our combo here. It's a very weird card, but it'll come into play. Then he activates Terraforming for the Cynet Storm. This is the central point, or the central theme, and the central piece of this entire play. This is the card that's going to allow us to constantly get those monsters. Some of you guys maybe have figured it out, but I don't think anyone has really figured out how it's going to happen yet. He plays the Bamboo Engine. He's not even going to use it on his monsters, and now he has what he needs to do. Okay, so I don't know if you guys saw that, but his Street Patrol was in the graveyard. He sent that to the graveyard with Hand Destruction, and then he banished it to summon Wall of Illusion. Oh my god, this takes me back, man. I think I used to play this card when I was like a teenager. I'm pretty sure that this card came out in like Metal Raiders. This is a fucking old card. This card's like 16, 17 years old, and you need this card specifically. Essentially, it's like a one-sided Grand Mole. If your opponent attacks into this monster after damage calculation, that monster gets bounced to the hand. But don't worry about that. We're going to figure out a way to exploit that. He's going to activate Infernal Reckless Summon, and unfortunately, he's playing against Cyber Dragons, which is a deck you don't want to use this against because they can just get a bunch of monsters, but you need multiple copies of your Wall of Illusion for this play to actually work. You'll see why in a second. Then he's going to activate, I believe, Mystic Box. Okay, so Mystic Box is important here because it's going to pop a monster on your opponent's side of the field, but more importantly, it forces the Wall of Illusion to your opponent. This is the most important thing. You have to use Wall of Illusion, or you have to have some monster that bounces. Let's just go with Wall of Illusion, but you have to force this card to your opponent's side of the field. So he's going to pop a Cyber Dragon, and then he's actually going to go ahead and he's going to give his opponent Wall of Illusion. He uses the other two copies to go into Wee Witch's Apprentice. This is also important, right? As crazy as this sounds, we need to not only attack into Wall of Illusion, we actually need to pump up the Wall of Illusion. We have to take more battle damage. This sounds so counterproductive, right? You're like, wait, Cap, why would you want to take more damage? It's integral to the play, just believe me. So now he's going to summon his copy of Battling Boxing Veer, and now the combo has been established. Let me explain how this works, right? So what you do is you attack into your Wall of Illusion, and you're going to take 2,300 damage, but the thing about Cynet Storm is it says if you take 2,000 or more damage by battle or card, or effect damage, you can shuffle the face down cards in your extra deck, and then you can excavate the top card. If it's a Cyberse Link monster, you get to special summon it, and that's the way that you're going to be able to get free Link monsters on your side of the field. So now we can play, and you see that that's going to happen. Wall of Illusion is going to activate. It's going to say, hey, you got to bounce yourself to the hand. He took 2,300 damage, and now the Cynet Fusion is going to allow us to excavate the top card of our extra deck, and if it's a Cyberse Link, we get to summon it to the field. Now, here's where this play really works, and it becomes not infinite, but it becomes enough for you to really make this, it becomes enough for this play to be worth it. If you have a second copy of Battling Boxing Veer, when you take battle damage, you get to summon this card, and and then you gain the life points back that you just took in damage. So basically you're not taking any damage when this finally resolves. Now after all of this, we get a Link monster on the field for free. And you can see right here, if you have 2 copies of Veer, you can basically repeat the process over and over and over again. And I know some of you guys like, well, Cap, the monster that you get is random. What if you don't get a Cyberse Link monster? Nah, bro, we don't play like that. All you run is Cyberse Link monsters in your extra deck. So every time it activates, you're 100% guaranteed to get a big Cyberse Link monster. This includes Firewall Dragon, by the way, but you don't know if you're gonna get it because Firewall Dragon is limited to 1. But you basically just repeat this process and you just keep getting big Link monsters. You don't have to Link summon them at all. They just come out like paper. Now on the second attack, you won't actually get the monster. But it doesn't matter because, again, you're not actually taking any life point damage until the final attack. Now you can see he just got 4 monsters for free. He's not able to kill this Cyber Dragon because it can't be destroyed by battle this turn. But the point of this play is basically to just get all these fucking Link monsters for free without having to like need Link summoning. Basically you're just getting all these Cyberse monsters. Now he does lose 1, he loses his Witching's Apprentice, but unfortunately for his opponent, that does actually just open up his extra monster zone, which means he can continue doing this play. I guess if your opponent would like Link summon with the Wall of Illusion, they could stop this, but generally after that you have more than enough monsters to kill them with. It'd be nice if these monsters had a little bit of stun, but I don't know, man. Maybe this is the reason why Konami's not making any more broken Cyberse Link monsters, because they know about this Signet Storm play. I'm gonna pause for 1 second. I'm gonna show you guys what this crazy deck looks like. Okay, so here's what the deck looks like on paper. You guys saw a lot of these cards in the duel. I actually forgot that this was a card that even existed because I was like, Mystic Box seems really important. You can't really pull off that combo without it. I wonder why it's not a 3-of, but yeah, this is Sheen Spy. It's essentially a card that does the same thing. It forces Wall of Illusion to your opponent's side of the field. It's good because actually it may be even better because it doesn't require your opponent to have a card on their field. You just shift over the Wall of Illusion and then you can attack into it. I think I did a duel a little while ago. It was probably about a year and a half ago where the opponent or one of the players in the duel summoned like 5 copies of a combination of Quasar, Blazar, and Seafor Dragon, and you had to use this. You had to force like a Quasar on your opponent's side of the field for you to have room. I think that was actually back in Master Rule 3 if I'm not mistaken. Other cards that we saw, the Bamboo Engine, these are just kind of like filler cards. They can be thought of essentially as upstarts. They're really nice because again, you don't actually have to have a monster on your field to use these cards. As we saw in the duel, you just equip them to your opponent's monsters and then you just use them and draw a whole bunch of stuff. Kaijus make sense because if you go second, then you basically want to be able to break your opponent's board in case they happen to have like stun fields. We saw Cyber Dragon Infinity, wasn't a problem being able to get rid of that because of the Kaijus. And then you have a bunch of cards in here that can actually special summon your Wall of Illusion. Thus you can be able to use your Infernal Reckless Summon, which you I mean, there's a card that, you know, brings out all the copies so that you can Link summon and all that good stuff. But we saw that this can, the ways of special summoning Wall of Illusion can be Street Patrol. You can special summon it from Red Resonator, or you can special summon it from Summoner Monk. So you just want to have multiple ways of being able to do that. And Street Patrol, yeah, you can send this to the graveyard with Hand Destruction. Hand Destruction is good in a lot of these cheese decks because you don't really care about like multiple copies of cards. You just want to get to your established like loop. That's the reason that like Red Reboot's in here. Called by the Grave. Called by the Grave is like the most played card on all of the duels that I put on my channel. I swear it is in every single deck. Then people be wondering like why the card got restricted. So like, seriously, Cat, why did it get restricted to? Dude, it's in literally every single deck in Yu-Gi-Oh! I mean, when it gets put to 1 before the end of the year, don't say, well, maybe not the end of the year, but when it gets put to 1, don't ask why it's at 1, because it's in literally every single deck in Yu-Gi-Oh! But this is just a nice little combo that I would have never actually thought up. I don't know. I never even thought about that effect of Signet Storm, let alone the fact that it's not hard once per turn. But why would it really need to be? Because you have to take 2,000 damage to activate it, but if you're gaining the life points back immediately, then it's completely irrelevant. And you also don't choose the monster, but as long as you have a good card pool, nothing but Link monsters, well, you know, nothing but Cyberse monsters except for the Witchling's Apprentice, which is the only monster you're inherently going to summon, you can make it work. So whatever you guys think, let me know in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching. As always, subscribe if you have not already. Turn on that notification bell for daily videos and check out these other videos I know you'll enjoy.